It's a big day. We got a quick note in here. Says, hey Annie, apologies for not including a box. You've probably got enough of the boxes to fill a room. Enjoy the new wheels and please do let me know how you find them. All the best, Simon. 2 Cartwheels vinyls here. 3 sets of plastic Cartwheels. So he sent me a set of minis, classics, and mega cores, and of course I'm gonna be testing all 3 out. I actually prepared myself for testing out plastic wheels because I'm not a huge fan of plastic, or at least I wasn't before, but I'm gonna give these a test and I'll let you guys know what I think. So I've done a review on the V2 Cartwheels. If you haven't already watched that, you can check it out in the card above, or I'll put it in the description below. Last week, or my last week, maybe your guys' 2 weeks ago, Simon dropped the V3s and he was kind enough to send me a set of each, the minis, the classics, and the mega cores to try out early for myself. As you guys probably know, Cartwheels are known for their nylon wheels, but with the new V3s, Simon went a different direction and made plastic wheels instead. The one thing I do want to let you guys know is that the V2s are still around, so we don't need to panic yet, but I do think that Simon will eventually want to phase out the nylon and stick to plastic. That was something I was really worried about because I really love the V2s and I've supported Cartwheels for so many years because I love the nylon material. And in fact, when I was discussing the V3s with Simon, he was worried that I wouldn't like them because it's such a big difference between plastic and nylon. But before we get into my personal review, I do want to give you guys some basic information. Simon has actually been wanting to make plastic wheels for a really long time now, and in fact when he first started the company 10 years ago, these were the exact wheels he wanted to make. Which makes sense because I have these wheels from ages ago from Cartwheels and they're actually plastic. But then I remember the stock following was nylon. He says that the step from V2 to V3 marks a big change in direction for himself and also for the company overall. His goal was to create a smoother than smooth wheel with a more aesthetically pleasing shape and style while still also maintaining that classic Cartwheels look. So just as we've seen with all the previous Cartwheels, these also have a colored core. You can also just get them with the white core, but it still has like a core inside. These are also single bearing wheels, just like the V2s, so they fit on all trucks. Simon also tells me that he has improved the bearing lock system. My bearings on any Cartwheels so far have never slipped, so yeah. But I guess they're even less likely to slip now. These wheels are still going for 26 pounds, so that's 36 US dollars. That's the same price as the V2s as well. The sizes for each wheel have maintained the same, so that's 6.5mm for minis, 7.5 for classics, and 8.5 for mega cores. And they're also all 5mm in depth. However, when you put them next to the V2s, they actually look bigger. Originally, I thought maybe the nylon material on my old wheels had like worn out, but I actually think it's because the insides of the wheel for the V3s aren't as big. So like the hole in the middle is not as big. Aside from the material, I definitely say the biggest difference between the V2s and the V3s are the shapes. Each wheel has been designed specifically, so the minis have the more flat look. The megas are more rounded and have a more street type shape. And finally, the classics sit somewhere in the middle. The V3s definitely look like they were overall very specifically designed, whereas the V2s kind of all had a similar shape. I'd say that the V3 minis have the closest comparison to the V2s, in that both versions are pretty flat, but I'd say that the V3s have a even flatter inside. So the side that is touching the hanger is flat, whereas the V2s are more tapered. A lot of people probably think that the minis are the same as cores, but they're definitely bigger than that, also because they have like a core inside of them, so they kind of have to be bigger. Cores to me look like a very breakable wheel, whereas the Cartwheels V3 minis actually look like a pretty solid wheel. The Megas are by far the coolest looking wheel I have seen from Cartwheels, period, like ever. The design is so nice. I really love how it looks. It just looks and feels like a very purposefully designed shape. I don't know if that makes sense. They remind me a little bit of the Flatface and Winkler collab wheels from years ago, only these are bigger. So let's talk about the fact that these wheels are plastic. Because of the material, the wheels are pretty hard and they feel quite slippery in comparison to the V2s because, you know, nylon is just grippier. When I first tried these wheels, I was actually blown away with how smooth they were. I don't know if it was like a placebo type effect, but I thought they were like the smoothest plastic wheels I'd ever tried, but to be fair, I haven't bought a new set of plastic wheels in a really long time. Of course, you know, I know that the fact that they are plastic automatically makes them smooth, but there was just something about it that felt different, and I still don't know how to describe it. Again, maybe it's just like me thinking that because Cartwheels is a company that I really support. So maybe that's just like a biased opinion, but genuinely, I was like, why are these so smooth? Like I said, they're really hard and they're very light feeling, especially since they're not at all grippy. Some of you may be wondering whether these feel the same as Flatface dual durometer wheels because they both have cores inside, but I definitely don't think they feel the same at all. Part of it has to do with the fact that the shapes are very different. So something I didn't think about testing or think about in general was the way these wheels might take impact. This was something suggested by my buddy Nick or Brokeman on Instagram. For the lack of a better word, I'd say it's like the bounce of the wheels. So with urethane wheels, pretty much if you drop them, they don't really bounce at all or too much. And then with the nylon, it's like some bounce, not too much. I'd say for plastic wheels, these take impact pretty well. I'd also say though that they take impact just as much or just as less as probably any other plastic wheel. So like I said in the unboxing portion of this video, I did prepare myself for testing these by setting up some old flat face wheels. The closest I've come to riding plastic wheels over the last year are Luxario's, and I don't even think those really count because the material is more like a polymer blend, so they feel softer, and I mean, I really enjoyed them. But yeah, I don't think that's really like plastic. Ironically, part of the reason why I haven't been a huge fan of plastic is because of Cartwheels, because I tried nylon. To me, plastic wheels are the most generic in that it's hard to tell the difference between them. And that's definitely not a diss on plastic wheels overall or anyone who makes plastic wheels. I think it's just like a personal preference type of thing. But at the same time, because I haven't been riding plastic wheels in years, I haven't been able to test out what's out there and what's new over the last few years. So for all I know, things could have developed in the plastic wheel world. That being said, I genuinely enjoy these wheels. I actually surprisingly really like them. I was really worried I wouldn't like them. Being a supporter of Cartwheels for so long, it's kind of hard to not want to like them. They have the classic Cartwheels look, like I said, with the inner core. I think it looks really nice. And having ridden them for a few days now, I've been able to get them a little bit dirty, and that helps to add a little bit of grit and a little bit of that grippiness overall that I enjoy from nylon. And they do actually look different from other plastic wheels I've seen out there, or even flat face wheels that I have in my drawer. I wouldn't mistake the minis for the flat face Cowply edition wheels, for example. I still prefer nylon, but I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed these. To be honest, I also don't think it's fair to compare the V3s with the V2s because the materials are so different. But like I said, material aside, the shapes have improved, and you can really tell that Simon has spent a lot of time figuring out the design of these. In terms of how they ride, I pretty much like them all the same. I've set them up on different style decks. I tend to set up different wheels, especially if they're different sizes, based on the deck itself. So different wheels are used for different purposes. But yeah, I do like all three wheels. I still think the Megas have the coolest like look to them. I do hope that Simon eventually can make a smaller version of the Megas, like the same size as the classics, let's say, because I really do enjoy the shape of them, but I can't ride wheels that big for every single setup. One question I'm sure is on all of our minds, whether you're someone who has supported Cartwheels all these years, or if you're someone who has just heard of them and never really tried them, is why has Simon suddenly decided to switch to plastic? A lot of my friends who support Cartwheels have supported them for this long of a time because of the nylon material. And nylon is Cartwheels' specialty, it's what they're known for. But I also think that because Cartwheels has been the only company making nylon wheels, customers who enjoyed nylon basically had to fully commit themselves to Cartwheels as a whole. If you're someone who loves urethane, you pretty much only ride urethane wheels, but you have a lot of companies to select from and a lot of companies to try. That's not the case for nylon though. I am the perfect example of that. I fell in love with nylon and pretty much every single set of wheels I was riding was nylon, and that was like it for me. I didn't really ride anything else for a really long time. I haven't been riding anything else for a while. I do have a few sets of other material wheels lying around, like just some urethane wheels, but they are pretty hard urethane. And I have the Luxarios, and I have a couple of sets of plastics. But again, I don't use all of those wheels like that often. Once you're committed to a material, you don't really want to go or look anywhere else. Unless you're fully committed to a company, you're not going to want to buy the same sets of wheels over and over again unless you're a psycho like me. There is only so much variety and style and shape that a singular company can offer. And for a lot of people, that can be off-putting. So they just like don't buy wheels from that company at all. Aside from fulfilling his dream, another reason why Simon may have switched to plastic was also to broaden his audience and customer base a bit more and offer something that more people can enjoy without customers having to test out a whole new material for themselves. So I'm not sure why Simon hasn't actually officially put on his page or on the website that these wheels are in fact plastic. That was the most asked question I got when I posted about these wheels. Are these urethane? Are these plastic? Are these still nylon? They don't look like nylon. Yeah, for some reason he's kept this information pretty secretive. If you're someone who enjoys plastic wheels, this is a great opportunity to try out some new wheels from an old company. One of the cool things about this is that we're trying out a new wheel, but it's still from a trusted company and maker who has proven over the years that he knows what he's doing. It's not like it's a brand new wheel coming from a brand new company that no one knows about. Every time I try a new product from a new company, I'm always nervous that it's not going to be good or that their quality control isn't there for other people. This is probably one of the first times I've tried a new product and haven't been scared of the quality. I mean, I was worried about whether or not I would like them, but that had nothing to do with the quality. That was just like the material. These wheels have pretty much already been perfected. I don't really see where these can go in terms of improvement. All I can think about is maybe offering more shapes and more sizes or whatever. But yeah, the actual blend itself is pretty much perfect. I was actually going to purchase a set of each of the V3s myself until Simon offered to send them free to me. I knew I wanted to test them out regardless of whether or not I would like them. If I didn't like them, I knew I would still be glad to own a set of these wheels each, just as a part of Cartwheels history. The one thing I haven't really been able to test over the last few days is durability because it's only been a few days, but I really don't think these will break. Overall, I'm really happy for Simon and I'm excited for what's to come with the company. I know there are a couple of secret behind the scenes things going on, so I can't wait for him to release all of that stuff. Now I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say about the V3s. Are you thinking of purchasing a set, and do you like plastic wheels in general? I'm also really interested in hearing what some of the avid Cartwheels fans' thoughts are on this change to plastic. Like I said, I still prefer nylon, but let me know what you think. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts, whether you're planning on purchasing a set, you're waiting for a set to come in, or you already own a set. A big thank you to Simon for gifting me these wheels. I really appreciate it. Go get yourself a set of Cartwheels, whether it's the V2s or the V3s. And like I said, if you haven't watched the V2 review, you can watch it somewhere here or in the description below. All of the Cartwheels related links, their Instagram or website will be in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.